Welcome to the Movie Podium, a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's kind of like a book club.
But for movies.
We also came up with a set of questions to ask ourselves, such as, is this a Podium movie or a top 3 in the year of its respective release? This week's film is one of the most innovative sports movies of all time. And without further ado, we present our next movie.
If we win with this team, we'll have changed the game.
Get a treat.
Brad Pitt eats a lot, and there's some baseball.
I'm your host, Matt Scott, and I'm here with my dudes, Daniel.
Heyo.
John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John. Dave.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Dave.
Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Dave.
And Cooking with Kevin.
That's me.
He doesn't get the song.
I wanted to give him like a second.
Oh, yeah. I love the way it slides into that.
I was barred for like 3 weeks. I'm back. I'm sorry, guys.
Next time you'll get more.
When's our last?
All right, cheers, guys.
House been?
Cheers.
When was the last Full House?
Well, they made a rebate or
A reboot.
Rebate?
It's probably
I don't know, a rebate.
it's Fuller House.
yeah,
Fuller House.
sequel,
Yes.
baby.
Can we sub the intro sound for John doing it?
We probably should one of these days. Did you like the Winter Soldier song for Crazy Ass Facts? Did anybody catch that? Nobody commented on
Was
it.
that the 007 one?
Yeah.
I did catch that.
So we're continuing that timeline and placing ourselves back to 2011, the year some of us graduated college. Yikes. This was one of those no-brainer years when we looked at our options for movies to pick. The dog days of summer are creeping in, and baseball is about to take over my TV. I'm sure some of yours as well. Once the NBA playoffs are done, of course. So we reference this movie a lot, and I think we're clearly huge fans, so I'm kind of excited to break this down. John, how are those Reds doing?
Shitty.
Daniel, how are those Cubs doing?
They're fighting for first place. They had a bad
Nice.
weekend against the Pirates this weekend, though.
Ew, the Pirates.
Well, we just swept the Twins, and so I'm pretty happy about it. All right. Yeah, you know,
Matt Scott
Believe-
and your
Believe
Cleveland
land.
Guardians.
believe land. All right, before we get into the episode, please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You can also check out our website, themoviepodium.net, for cool gear like t-shirts and koozies.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I didn't have
Koozies, baby.
You guys ready for some random ass facts?
Yes.
I've never been ready
Yes.
in my life.
So this got a 7.6 on IMDb.
Is that higher than
Thor?
Thor?
Yes, it is. John, lock your doors.
No, it's me.
I know. I know, but I want to see John
I'm not
McVeigh.
going back to Canadian jail.
I think it's done.
So, all right. Got a couple of good ones. And if anybody has any, there's a ton, I'm sure, because this was based off of a book and real events, obviously. So there's a lot of cool little stories built into this movie. So David Justice is played by Stephen Bishop, who is a former baseball player. Bishop was a minor leaguer and a Braves prospect that was actually nicknamed Young Justice due to his physical resemblance and similar playing style to Justice. So if you watch his swing, it's very similar. So in this movie, Billy Beane is portrayed as a lonely divorcee. Well, in real life, he actually was remarried. So some of the scenes were shot with Catherine Morris as his second wife, Tara, but they just didn't make the final cut. But they are included in the Blu-ray version. So
Weird.
and when you look at or when you watch, Brad Pitt's actually wearing a ring in the movie. That's
I think I
because
noticed
they
that
cut
in
some of
one
that.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Again, a lot of this is, for the movie. Despite suggestions in the movie that Scott Hatterberg was a bad fielding first baseman, actually ended up with a year of a fielding percentage of .994, which is higher than the average for his position at .993. So he was an average fielder, not as bad as they make it
And
seem.
it's not a demanding position either.
And it's not
Despite
at
what
all.
they say. I mean, for Major League Baseball, yes, but that's usually
Sure.
where you put a player that you want to protect and not work too hard.
Yeah, like
Right.
he actually says it's like that's his number one fear is fielding a ball.
Right. So I kind of mentioned there's a lot of things that are for the movie, right? They're narrated so we can understand that they're, too dramatic and they're for the movie. Art Howe was actually on board with Moneyball, the actual concept from the beginning. So all those contentious scenes with Philip Seymour Hoffman, those in real life didn't really exist.
Oh.
So also Carlos Pena was not a Rookie of the Year candidate and didn't receive that consideration until after he was traded to the Tigers, where his performance vastly improved. So this movie was made in 2011. So we understand that Carlos Pena ended up being a good player. At that time, when they traded him, he actually wasn't who he ended up being. So it wasn't as crazy as they made it seem.
Yeah, and then I think they played up, the prognostication of when he's getting traded. He's like, he'll be Rookie of the Year, probably an all-star, which
Right.
was probably embellished.
Well, there's some more cool embellishments. I don't know if they're cool, but it makes it a good movie, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The film also did not focus on the fact that the Athletics arguably had the best defensive infield in the league, which was helpful considering that their top three pitchers heavily relied on groundouts. Right? Makes sense. And while the scouts in the film are made out to be archaic and behind the times, Oakland had one of the best minor league farm systems in the major leagues. And while Boston did use the Moneyball concept to help win the World Series in 2004, I'm sure we all kind of thought about this one. They had the second highest payroll in baseball behind the Yankees for that World Series. And if you know baseball, when you saw that pop up, you're like, wait a minute. There might be some of that Moneyball going on, but there's also that Moneyball, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they just incorporated it. They're like, oh, we'll take that tactic and throw our money behind it.
Right. Which in this case, I mean, and kind of how the movie goes, it's the sentiment that Moneyball might be good for filling a roster, but you still need your high pay stars as the key. So nice for the Red Sox to have both, right?
Yeah, they did basically what they were able to do. All they did was repeat their, last year's success. They made the playoffs or whatever. They still didn't win the big one.
Right, exactly. All right, let's get into the questions. Favorite thing about the movie? Eric, what do you think?
My favorite thing was the streak montage, because that got
Nice.
me fucking pumped. And
That
I don't
does
even
get you
know
pumped.
anything about baseball, but I was like, oh yeah, I had goosebumps and everything.
Yeah, that scene rules.
Yeah.
Dave?
Just seeing a look into this concept of baseball that nobody thought would work, seeing it brought to life, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
after witnessing it like firsthand.
Yeah, exactly. It is cool to see that on screen after that. Daniel, what about you?
For me, it's a different type of baseball movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it's still got all the baseball tropes in it, but it's also like different from every other baseball movie in that it's focused on math as opposed to like, you know, anything else. But you have like the same archetypes, like the guy who's washed up who has one last run in David Justice.
Yep.
You've got like the guy who's, you know, clueless but by the end is pretty good in Hattiesburg. Like it's a very traditional baseball movie while not being a traditional baseball movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's one of the
they
great
don't
things about this
show a
movie.
lot of
Absolutely.
baseball in it, so you're seeing everything sort of happen off the field. There's not a lot of like baseball action.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
for that montage.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. John, what was your favorite thing?
I think my favorite thing was the fact that they had to trade Pena in order to get Hatterberg in the lineup, and basically the sort of fight to get everyone on board, get everyone with the program, and then once they did, as Eric mentioned, that's where you sort of get the buildup of everything clicking, and it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's the same montage I'm thinking of where it's like everything's working and things, they start to climb the standings and it's all starting to come together.
Yep. And that, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
Say mine is pretty much exactly what John said, and it was Billy just pulls the "I'm your boss" card. I'm trading the players you're starting instead of who you want to start. I don't care how good they are. These are the players that need to start.
Awesome.
Trading them away, and he pretty much, he essentially sets the lineup because there were no other players to start in the positions that he set that team up for.
You can't start Pena first tonight. You'll have to start Hatterberg.
I am starting him at first. I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now. You traded Pena. You're killing this team.
That's when he really goes
for
full
sure.
throttle.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. I love how he just kind of takes over like that. So mine is kind of in the same boat as those, and I kind of talked about it in the random ass facts, but I just like how this movie elegantly portrays the beautiful balance between the analytics and the actual playing portion, or the intangibles that we love about sports so much. So obviously the title is Moneyball, and it centers around that Billy Beane 2002 athletics. But what I like is how they are able to take that formula and get to a point where they almost make it. And so we get that balance of, wow, this actually worked, or it did its job. But you still need those players, the big names. And look at any NBA championship, I'll take it to that. Same with baseball. You have to have somebody. Look at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you have to, any sport, you have to have key players. And if you look at that athletics, as we mentioned, they have a lot of good players. They don't have any guys like, I don't know,
Mariano Rivera at the
Mariano
beginning
Rivera
of the movie.
Right. And when they did, they won a World Series, right? Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Catfish Hunter, Dennis Eckersley. When they have those guys, they did win World Series. So you kind of draw the line in the sand with, that gray area, not seeing those good players, or good to great. And so like Moneyball works, but to what extent? And that's like the Cubs, the Red Sox, those guys can embrace that and win because they can play the big players. So we haven't seen the Athletics win since this book was written, right?
Jeez, they're about to move to Las Vegas and maybe play in a minor league stadium for a year.
No, they're moving to Sacramento.
Sacramento, and then right.
Yeah, okay.
And then Vegas. All right, so least favorite part about the movie. I'm going to go first, Daniel, only because John kind of already mentioned my least favorite thing is that this movie is about a team that is no longer going to be in the city that it was made in. And it's going to, not be in Oakland, which is kind of a bummer because originally the Philadelphia Athletics moved from there to Kansas City to Oakland starting in 1968. They actually won 4 World Series titles since 1968. That's the same amount as the Indians / Guardians, Reds, and Cubs have won in that same time span. The Reds, I added there. Pretty crazy. They have 3 of those 4, right?
Yeah.
And so they're not that miserable of a franchise. It's just they've been a cheap franchise. And so this movie is almost the detriment to why they are leaving Oakland. So it's kind of my least favorite thing.
Yeah, they're really a ship without an anchor, if you will. They've already moved from Philly to Kansas City to Oakland.
Yeah.
Again,
that happens. But
so they take
ownership.
the history with them. It's just kind of weird how they've had to float around. And did they do anything I know what the streak they beat was as an athletic team from Philadelphia in the movie. So so they didn't have any championships as a franchise.
No, they did.
Before moving?
They did.
Oh, okay.
I believe they had 3 before, but I was just saying since they've been in Oakland for the last 60 years. But what I was saying there though, they did have winning times, and it wasn't always a cheap franchise. It's just been since the Moneyball era that they've had this way of playing, and when you have people who are no names, people don't pay to go see those players. So it's almost a vicious cycle, right?
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. And so now they're leaving. It's like the plot of Major League.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what they're doing. Last year they had the lowest payroll in the majors intentionally so people wouldn't go in Oakland.
Exactly.
So they could go look, no one goes. We got to go to Vegas.
So my least favorite thing is that this movie made the team leave in a roundabout way. Daniel, what was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing about this was how gross Brad Pitt is. He's constantly spitting seeds and stuff in his face. He's real gross in this movie.
Shaving in the office.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off that because I said chaw spit because he's carrying around that fucking cup and he's just spitting in it. And it's gross.
I have another one. It's
Dave?
it's with
Oh,
Brad
go ahead,
Pitt
Kevin.
also. Yeah, it's also Billy Beane's character. He needs to go to anger management classes. He flips over a desk. He throws a chair out of his office and breaks a picture frame. He throws a baseball bat across the locker room. He also throws a Gatorade 5-gallon barrel thing across the locker room. He's got some issues.
Their stereo.
I was going to say he ruined a nice stereo
system. I mean, he's just
there,
breaking shit and throwing things all over the place, and it's throughout the whole movie. It's not just one scene.
Yeah, in the flashback, too, he's in a Twins uniform and just breaking bats in the dugout. And everyone just scoots over for him are you done?
I didn't do this research, but I'm guessing Billy Beane might have been notorious for something like that. I don't know. Just
I didn't go that deep into it.
I don't know.
Throughout the movie, he was just constantly destroying.
I assume he was.
Got a real short fuse.
John?
I have a couple things. One is, I guess it's a long-winded explanation of the whole Moneyball philosophy from Jonah Hill. And he says it's about getting it all down to one number, which I'm that might be a little bit of an oversimplification. The other thing that irked me is seeing the standings of 4 teams in the AL West and remembering that at this time there's 6 teams in the NL Central and just being pissed off about that. And also the fucking shitty Astros. Fuck them. That was the 6th team till they join the AL West. I think that's where they are now.
Yep, that is nice. I did have a top 5 for this week, and in honor of Oakland leaving, I did my top 5 Oakland athletics. So my number 5 is Catfish Hunter, one of the best closers of all time, and even won the AL MVP in 1992.
Wow.
Number 4, Mark McGwire, all-time home run leader in A's history.
Wow.
Also won a World Series and half of the hilarious Bash Brothers. Number 3, Catfish Hunter, Cy Young winner and a Hall of Famer. Number 2.
Wasn't he 5?
Oh, shit.
Dennis Eckersley.
Number 5, I screwed up. Number 5 is Dennis Eckersley. Good call.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
I was
Whoops.
like, you have 2? There's 2 people named Catfish?
No, Dennis Eckersley.
They look similar.
They look so similar. I always
you were gonna
think
say
about them the
Junior.
same. So Dennis Eckersley is number 5. He's the closer. Catfish Hunter is a Cy Young winner and Hall of Famer. Number 2 is Reggie Jackson, who won an MVP, World Series MVP, and also 3 World Series with the A's. And number 1 is Ricky Henderson, the greatest leadoff hitter of all time.
Ricky!
How does he say his name?
Ricky.
Ricky Henderson. David Cross has a hilarious Ricky Henderson bit where he's Ricky Henderson talking about Ricky Henderson.
That's what I was.
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember where I remember like a joke about him from, and that's it. Yeah, the David Cross bit. Totally.
Show.
Dave,
I would just say
any last words?
I guess my one complaint will be that whenever they filmed this movie, they didn't have the budget to go to all of the different ballparks for
Yeah.
the montage scene that Eric
Yep.
liked, so they were all filmed in Dodger Stadium.
Yep.
And they just
Yeah, I did
redecorated
see that.
it.
Nice.
Pretty hilarious. Nice. That is a pretty goofy one. All right. Next category we've got who won the movie? Kevin?
I put analytics won the movie because it's never been done before.
What the fuck?
In sports,
Yep.
and it worked. I mean, they didn't win the World Series, but I mean, it was a obvious huge jump when their plan was actually implemented with like a quarter of the budget of what the higher spending teams were spending on players.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and everyone does it now.
yeah,
Now-
everybody-
Did anybody-
yeah.
Everyone.
Did anybody else expect Kevin to give a math answer?
No.
Did anybody else give a math answer? I did.
I expected you to give a math answer.
Yeah.
Or John.
John, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kevin, I mean, I agree.
Yeah,
I
you're
said-
totally right, Kev.
Yeah, I said baseball
No
nerds.
shit, Daniel thinks I'm right.
Yeah, what is this?
We're in a different world.
But Kevin
We're in
has
the
a
upside
good
down.
take. I give him credit for it.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn, this is weird. Did hell freeze? I said baseball nerds or analytics. We've been playing fantasy sports forever now. I mean, I was in like CompuServe and Yahoo leagues in like 5th grade. I mean, we've had our fantasy football since like 7th grade, I think, or 8th grade.
Our current league, I think, is what 12 years deep. And
Yeah,
that's
but
the
we've
online
been
league.
online, right? This league, this version of it. But I think me, Tommy, Daniel, some of us have been doing it since like 7th grade or 8th grade. So like, the point is,
Oh, okay. I like baseball.
I do.
I do.
But I think this movie goes back to, Bill James, right? The book that inspired the Moneyball era. He came up with these ideas that could, take numbers on paper and apply them to real world applications within sports, which, as Kevin kind of said, really hadn't been done. Now, Bill James did this in the 70s, right? They allude to it. They don't act like Billy Beane or Paul D. Podesta or whatever his name is, Peter Brand in the movie comes up with it. It's just that Bill James is their inspiration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're big fans of small market teams, or at least some of us. And so seeing how numbers can help us win and do better is always nice. So I think that this movie kind of did start some sort of, the book started it, and then the movie obviously helped media or mainstream. But yeah, I do agree. I think the analytics won this movie. Daniel, what do you think?
Billy Beane. He got a movie made after him.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is a general manager of a baseball team. And not just any baseball team. A baseball team from Oakland. And he got a movie made after him.
It's fair.
Not anymore.
I said the same thing as Daniel.
Nice.
Billy
Billy
Beane. Nice. John?
I said baseball in general because this improved baseball overall, but also this is in the steroid era, so it's sort of like I think steroids is sort of a black eye on the game of baseball, and this is sort of like something revolutionary that can sort of balance that era as far as good and bad evolution of baseball. So I just said baseball in general.
Nice.
Sounds like a John answer.
That's a good call. That's a good point. I didn't think about the scenario or the situation of being right in the middle of the steroid era. That's a good point because I watched this movie and didn't really think about it.
They don't even bring that up during the movie.
Yeah.
No, so that's a really good point.
The Expos were still a team.
Yeah. Well, and Miguel Tejada was, I think, documented as a user. So like,
yeah, he played.
And maybe Chavez. Maybe that's why they don't talk about him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, by the way, it was in our organization as well as all the others.
Maybe.
But we were doing
Dave?
analytics.
Dave, who won the movie for you?
I'm the only one that watched the movie. I saw the Twins win. The Twins
didn't win that year.
I didn't see him win yesterday.
The Twins won the movie because the movie ends at that point. But I've got a top 5.
Ooh. All right.
These are the top 5 teams that were better than the A's in 2002. So at number 5 we have the Yankees because they had the best league in the best record in baseball that year, or like tied the Oakland A's because they had one less game played.
There must have had to have been a playoff game.
3 or 4 is just a toss up. I mean, we got the Cardinals, and then we got the Giants. Because they both went farther in the playoffs that year than the A's did. Number 2, we got the Twins because they beat the A's in the first round, and number 1, the Angels because they won the World Series that year.
Was that the Rally Monkey year?
Yeah, they were the wild card team, weren't they?
Have they won any other World Series?
No.
I don't know. I just know. I remember.
I will tell you. I'm no.
They did not. Monkey year?
That was the Rally Monkey year. That was like Darren Erstad. Remember him? You had
Mike showed
Jim Edmonds,
the manager.
Yeah, Edmonds before he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah, that dude could ball.
Yeah, that team was a fun team. That's a good top 5, Dave. I like it.
Someone else is
all right.
giving gentle slaps.
Next category we've got favorite song moment. All right, Eric.
Eric wants to go last.
It's Joe Satriani playing the Star Spangled
I knew
Banner.
you were going to say it.
I agree with Eric.
Was that your answer?
Yeah.
Nice. Kevin?
Is that because you didn't have an answer, Daniel?
Yes.
Also nice.
I was going to go that route, but I ended up going just the straightforward route with the show. And it's because his daughter actually, the person that plays his daughter, or Billy Beane's daughter, actually sings that. And
Oh, that's
So
the
it's kinda-
song she's singing while she's playing
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a maze and love is a riddle. I don't know.
Which,
in the middle.
if you listen to the lyrics, I like the lyrics in terms of like how it relates to the actual movie. Like I can't think of any of the lyrics on the top of my head, but if you put it in context of the movie, it's a lot like his role in this movie.
And he's teared
I wish
up
I could
after she
recite.
sings it.
Yeah, I wish I could recite some of them, but yeah, I like that part of it. John, what about you?
Right before Joe Satriani makes a lovely rendition of our national anthem, The Star-Spangled Banner. They're playing Journey's Don't Stop Believing as people file into the...
Yep. Opening day.
For one, I hate Journey. And for two,
So making that clear.
which I guess they're a Bay Area band, which would make sense why they're playing it. But also, it's so dismal. It's like there should be no expectations, and people are like filing in. Let's go, Oakland!
Yeah.
Have their 3 banners have been dropped down, and they just have old David Justice up there. So I just loved it because I hated it, and I was just like, oh man, it just made me feel how you feel when you're going into a season of like no expectations, which I feel a lot as a Reds fan.
Yeah, for sure. That was also mine. You summed it up perfectly. Just
Really?
the opening. Yeah, the opening day jitters of fans and how like lackadaisical the whole thing felt. Just felt like you're just going to a hopeless season. So
Yeah.
I thought it was funny and ironic. Yeah, I thought it was ironic for sure. Dave, last but not least.
Mine was the only thing that I could find that it was called was the Moneyball guitar theme, and it was just that somber guitar music that would play that sounded like it was like some Friday Night Lights,
Yeah,
like
explosions.
It sounded like
music
explosions in
or
the sky.
something.
I was thinking that. It's not though, right, Eric? I didn't look, but I assume
That was the first thing I had down.
When I
me
looked
too.
up because whenever I was trying to find it, I just had to. I just searched Moneyball guitar somber.
it's epic as shit. It's so good.
I straight up thought it was explosions.
Me too. It's got the same like deep drums and everything too.
Yeah.
Nice.
This person that is sitting where Eric is sitting. Can you bring Eric back?
Oh, sorry.
Oh
Wait,
God!
is your name Clark?
There's Eric. Eric.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
That was
was
weird.
sitting in your chair.
Okay.
All right. Clark
I
was
won't
there.
let that happen again.
Next category we've got, does this movie get made now? Dave?
Sure.
He thought really hard about that one.
I don't know. Can a good baseball movie get made again?
Nah, probably. Yeah. I don't know.
I always have faith, especially in baseball. For some reason, baseball just lends itself to film.
Maybe it'll be a shorter movie since they sped up the game by adding a pitch clock.
So I kind of said yes as well. I thought that there would be something similar to this, but I think the twist is that it has to do more on the gambling side of numbers now. And I'm thinking there's going to be a movie where some kid's in college bets his Pell Grant on a game and wins, and he's on ESPN Bet. That's kind of the route I see it. Like some math kid from college comes up with a way to parlay some crazy thing, and it's this big excitement, and we're like, oh my God, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And it just keeps building and building.
I think there is a beautiful baseball movie being waiting to be made. There's this team that plays in this shitty little park with ivy-covered walls and a hand-operated scoreboard, and they're underdogs, and they lose, and they lose, and they lose for a century of heartbreak and disappointment, and then they finally win the big one, and everyone in America is happy in the highest rated baseball game in the last 100 years about the 2016 Chicago Cubs.
Actually, yeah.
That we were
It's
all
called
really
Fever Pitch.
happy about them.
If I'm going to be Kevin here, it's called Fever Pitch.
No,
That's Kevin's answer.
I don't want no Drew
That's Kevin's answer.
rom-com. I want
About the Red Sox winning the World Series.
I can't wait to see the rain delay and the shitty old dude who comes in and says, "Listen here, young puffs, you got a chance to win the World Series. We got to do it. My name is Jason Hayward. I suck now, but we can do this."
We did troll him once. It was on us.
Which brings me to my cat.
Listen, I didn't say anything about the Guardians.
No, it's called Believeland.
But the Windians.
The Windians. Oh God.
That's the one downfall of that
that's
World
corny.
Series that happened against the Windians.
In the Windy City.
Like, I would have loved it to have been the Yankees.
When
Red Sox.
Cubs fans invaded Cleveland, and they're like, "Hey, tickets are cheap here."
I know.
A plane ticket.
Well, we had Brad Miller standing, sitting / standing because he's so fucking tall in front of us. All right, next category we've got. Wait, did we even kind of decide there? I guess yes.
I
said no.
I'm just pro baseball.
I couldn't think of like a specific situation like this, or
I don't know. It's
something
already like,
in baseball.
This is a thing now.
Memorialize in film, because baseball is kind of boring, to be honest.
Fair. They do a good job of making a boring concept entertaining.
I think the Otani gambling thing is something that maybe will be memorialized in film one day, which I think will be...
I don't know. 30 for 30 on that one.
Yeah. Made for TV movie, maybe.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So, next category we got favorite line from the movie. Daniel
wants to go
I
last.
defer my first pick to John.
Wow.
John, there is a correct answer, and if
you
don't
have to say it right.
It's going to be double on site.
You have to say it right.
Oh, God. What is the exact quote? It's hard not to be romantic about baseball.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Hey, there he is.
He got it.
It's your
Home
signature
run.
line. If you didn't say it, I was going to beat you double.
It is John's signature line. It really is. I said, and this is something I actually live by, other than along with all sissies going to hell, is adapt or die.
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking true.
Okay, now I actually have one.
All right, Daniel.
It is when he's talking, like when they're doing the montage about him explaining Moneyball to all the players. And he's like, you get on base, we win. You don't, we lose. And I hate losing. Tabby, I hate it. I hate losing more than I even want to win.
Nice.
I like
Kevin?
that.
When if he's a good hitter, why doesn't he hit good?
I like that.
Eric?
A lot of pop coming off the bat.
Eric,
Nice.
what's that mean?
I don't know if it's the sound or if it's the baseball shooting up. Something like that.
It's a good way to say that. It's kind of both. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Did I get
He
close?
wasn't wrong.
You were right.
were
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You just kind of stick it in the middle there and you're
You
good.
know enough to be a Major League Baseball scout now.
Sweet.
There you go.
Dave?
Speaking of baseball scouts, I can't remember who he was talking about, but he goes, guy walks into a room, his dick has already been there for 2 minutes.
I mean, it's the kind of guy walks into a room, his dick has already been there for 2 minutes.
Just a quality
like-
you want in a baseball player.
The girlfriend
He's like talking
was a
about
six.
he's talking about his, like the dude's confidence or something.
Yeah,
He's
the-
like,
the girl's
guy walks
sick.
into his room and
Yeah.
dick's already been there for 2 minutes.
I also said when Brad Pitt calls up Jonah Hill in the middle of the night and he goes, "What time is it?" And Brad Pitt's like, "I don't know."
Well, that's a callback because whenever Brad Pitt calls him to give him the job, he says, "What time is it?" And he goes, "I don't know."
That's what I was referring to.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm
okay.
referring to the phone call, the first rendition of that.
Okay. I thought
But
that,
yeah, I like the whole bit, but I did say that I was kind of referring to the first time.
I do like one where he goes, Billy goes, Scott Hatteberg. He goes, who? Exactly. The guy sounds like an Oakland A already.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows who's the hell he
That was
is.
my next line. Kel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I've got
That's
another
for
one
sure
from
good.
that scene, and it sounds like that scene is rife with lines that are quotable. But Brad Pitt says, like, is there another first baseman out there like Giambi? They all answer in unison, no. If there was, could we afford them? They all answer in unison again, no. And then he gets to drop one of the 2 permitted F-bombs in a PG-13 movie. And he says, then what the fuck are we talking about here?
Nice. Any others?
Yeah, I like whenever they go to see Hatterberg, aka
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, and he goes
Picking machine.
he goes, what is he says playing first base is easy, isn't it Washington?
Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. Brad Pitt's so good.
And don't tell anyone about the first base thing.
Yeah, Scotty H.
I had a third one, actually. I didn't write it down.
All right.
It's still in my head. But it's one that goes like, I'm not going to fire you. And then the scout goes,
yeah.
Fuck you, Billy.
Yeah.
Just goes, well, now I am.
That's the other F-bomb.
There's the other F-bomb. That is a good one, too.
If you lost the last game of the season, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. So true. As you already alluded to at the Cleveland, Chicago. Nobody cares. Though I still wear my World Series sweatshirt. All right, next category we've got most rewatchable scene. I'll go first, and I'll say Eric kind of already touched on it, but it's the streak scene. That whole scene is just epic as hell. I love how, I mean, it's the most exciting part of the entire movie. And so I think that part is rewatchable all day. Just going back and just seeing how epic that the rally is. Also, I want to mention that the Cleveland Indians did in 2017 beat that streak at 22.
With the help of Jay
Didn't win.
Bruce.
Yeah, and Jose. But anyways, Dave, what was the most rewatchable scene for you?
Whenever he freaks out in the locker room and is yelling at him for having fun whenever they lost.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Eric?
I said the same thing as you, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Daniel?
I like the scene where Brad Pitt comes into Jonah Hill's office, and Jonah Hill hands him a stack of papers, and he's like, is this the 3 reports I asked for? And he's it's actually 47. Well, actually, it's 51. I don't know why I lied.
I know, I love that.
That makes me laugh every time. It's actually 51. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I lied.
John?
I was gonna say the streak scene and basically how Hatterberg saves them from, completing the streak. But another one I like is, oh shit! Come back to me. I just lost it.
Well,
same.
Go ahead, Kevin. I have one other one. Go ahead, Kevin.
Mine, honestly, is that montage of the wedding. It's something you just get excited about as you're watching it, and you're like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
That's the other answer. I was expecting John to say that.
Oh, I remembered mine that escaped me before. It is when they're at the trade deadline and they're trying to get Rincon and basically try and get back at that
Mark
Cleveland.
Shapiro.
Yeah, Mark Shapiro, who's, and it's all so fast and furious. And when they finally score and they're like, hell yeah, Jonah Hill gets all fired up, which you don't see him at all in the whole movie. That was one of my favorite scenes, but not...
Make the fist.
Yeah.
Daniel does that. Daniel does that fist.
Yeah.
He does a good job of that.
He's like, please. And he's like, no, I added the please. That wasn't Billy.
I think the other most rewatchable scene is when they're at the end and they're watching the guy hit the home run and he falls over. And I mentioned this in one of my favorite baseball scenes. This one, I was wondering if John would talk about. I mean, it is obviously, the punchline is, the romantic about baseball part. But just that whole scene and how he hits the home run, they all laugh at him and he thinks he's out and, he falls down.
Jeremy's about to realize that the ball went 60 feet over the fence. He hit a home run.
That whole thing just, I get chills when I see that whole scene play out. So that's the other one. Those two stand out, I think, for me, that and the streak.
It's a metaphor. I know it's a metaphor.
Yeah, I love it. I have that's so perfect. Perfect for an ending. All right. A couple more. We got most likely to be Offscreen Drunk.
Kevin. No, it's Kevin. Not Daniel. It's Kevin.
I should call on Kevin first every time. That would be
my answer's Jeremy Giambi. No, it's not. It's Kevin. It's fucking Kevin.
Nice. Daniel?
I picked Billy Beane because he's got to wash all them sunflower seeds down.
I said same because how stressful it's got to be a GM of a team that won't give you money to spend on, Coke machines.
And sunflower seeds.
And sunflower seeds, yep.
They're salty as shit. He's gotta be drinking all the time.
Yeah.
I put it a level below Billy Beane. It's definitely Art because Billy is forcing a team onto him that he doesn't want to play, and it's also when he's trying to negotiate a contract for an extension.
Yeah.
So this is like fair. before the streak, I would say.
Yeah.
He's just given a shit, and when he's trying to still make a living doing what he does.
Yep.
Yeah, I said the same thing as Kevin.
Nice. Yeah, that dude was stressed in the movie.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character.
Yeah,
for sure. John?
Yeah, I had Art Howe too, which couple things I liked that sort of lend to that in the movie. And he tells Billy a 1-year contract means the same thing to a manager as a player. Not a lot of faith there. The other thing that I thought was funny is when they're starting the streak, they're 7 games winning, and on TV they're saying, this is all because of Art Howe. Jonah Hill's watching. He's like, did you hear that, Billy? And Billy's like, all I heard was 7 straight wins.
Yeah, I love that. So good.
Yeah, it's Art.
Nice. That's true. All right. Good answer. I might change mine. I like that. I didn't think of that. All right. Next, we got casting our friends. Anybody want to go first on this one?
I can go first.
None of you could possibly be any of these people.
Oh, I've got some good ones.
Yeah, that's not true because Matt is totally Pete. Focused on fucking numbers constantly. I said Daniel is Billy because he's controlling Matt. Matt is his puppet. And like he's kind of like the whole team is like mad at him at certain points and he's just soaking it up. and on that sort of same vibration, I guess, that would make Kevin Art because Daniel is just forcing shit down his throat and Kevin can't do anything about it.
You're killing this team.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that Matt would be the one feeding me, like, look at this idea. It's cool.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, fuck yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then Kevin doesn't want to change, so he's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
do something new. And I'm like, we're doing it
Wow,
new.
That's pretty accurate.
I said John was the former head scout that said "fuck you" and got fired because he doesn't want to see baseball change. He just loves baseball, so he doesn't want to see it change. And then I said Dave is the younger Giambi who got traded because it would be funny for him to be like up dancing on that table and then Daniel come in. Is losing fun?
Spoiled Dave's fun.
Intimidating Dave.
On site.
Yeah.
I am known to do property damage to shit I own too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeremy was
Controllers.
also a fan of the weed.
Controllers?
Yeah.
That guitar?
Oh, on the weed. That's right.
We heard you
The
put
weed.
on the hookers and weed.
Yeah. Remember
The
the
weed.
guitar, the acoustic guitar at my parents' house that I shattered?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
people wouldn't stop playing it and annoyed the piss out of me.
Donovan. I like that. Good job, Eric.
Thank you.
Dave?
No, I don't have anything.
John?
Matt, you're Billy. You've got that fiery competitive spirit.
Yeah,
Eric
but Pete is all about numbers.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
but-
true. You might be. Maybe Matt can play both. He just has a costume
Sorry,
change.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I had you as Pete, Eric.
Okay.
Just because of he's sticking to the program. He's politely trying to like guardrail Billy. He's like, Billy, not trying to alarm you, but you might be ending your career here.
I feel like I would also say, like, thank you. And it's like, no, that wasn't from Billy. That was from me. I added that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave is David Justice because he's the talent that was brought in from New York City.
Nice.
And both their names are David.
That's pretty funny.
Kelv is the old baseball scout because someone cast me as the old baseball scout, and he's got to be my understudy for just being the old. We got 150 years of baseball experience. We know the intangibles. And that's all I have for now. I think I have.
Nice.
I had something for Daniel, but if anyone wants to go before me, I might remember where I had Daniel cast.
Hatterberg. I don't want the ball hit anywhere near me.
Oh, I think that was it because I'm like, someone's got to be Hatterberg. They're like, go field some grounders, and he's like, oh shit.
That is really funny if that was Daniel. Daniel?
I didn't do this part. I actually didn't
No worries.
finish the movie this afternoon. I got called on work early. So,
What the
Damn
hell?
work.
Work.
Yeah.
We
So
boo
I
work, not you.
I watched like the first half of this movie. I didn't even get to the montage.
Oh,
But I've seen this movie like a
no.
billion times. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We understand. Kevin?
I originally didn't cast anybody, but I really like Eric's casting for what he did.
Nice.
And so I have to
Yeah, that
agree
was good.
Yeah, Eric's casting. was
Agreed
good.
top to bottom on Eric's casting.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Because I actually
All right.
have seen, Daniel, it's Billy Works, because I've seen Daniel throw a laptop at a door before.
And a PlayStation controller.
I broke my
So
own copy of NBA 2K one year.
Yeah, that too. Yes.
So I had a few different routes here. I said Eric is our boy Joe Satriani
Yes.
playing the Star Spangled Banner on opening day.
Fuck yes. I love that.
Toboggan.
I said my son Miles is David Justice with that sweet lefty swing.
Nice.
I have Dave as Spike Jones because skateboarding and Beastie Boys. Duh. Who's uncredited in this? That's clearly
Is he
Spike
really?
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Like, come on. This could be my. I don't know. There's a couple good ones here. Daniel is Jeremy Giambi. Can't keep him out of the strip clubs. I have John is Chad Bradford. I've seen him throw a pretty nice sidearm. And speaking of throwing, our boy Kevin is Scott Hatterberg because he can't actually throw a baseball.
I'll take that.
Still trying to do his best for the team.
No, I just don't play.
All right. Next category we've got, is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? Oh. All right, so we only have two for this one. I had Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. I didn't throw in Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, I didn't think he was in it enough, and
Yeah.
he's a Academy Award-winning actor, so I didn't include him. I'm
Those are the
curious
only
on the
two.
Brad Pitt one for you guys. What do you guys think about him as a podium role for this? Anybody?
I said yes.
Okay, I did too.
I said no.
I put no, but it's close.
Yeah, John.
I think he's got too much of a body of work to say this, and I always thought this was maybe one of his sort of off the beaten path movies, not so popular. So I had Outside Looking In on his podium, if you
Interesting.
will.
Yeah,
Interesting. I would have thought for you. I would have thought for you that.
Oh
you
yeah,
would've
for
picked
me
it.
personally, yes, it's definitely on the podium.
Well, that's kind of where we go with this
Oh,
one.
okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, easily on the podium. I'll have to see where
Daniel?
it fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I put it on Philip Seymour Hoffman's podium.
Really? I mean,
Ooh.
Yeah.
good.
I just love this. I just love this movie. It's
Me too.
yeah.
Me too. I just think the combination of baseball and Brad Pitt being a badass, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
And then Jonah Hill, I think we've talked about him with Superbad. I think it's this, was it 21 Jump Street and Superbad.
Yeah,
I
I
like
would change-
War Dogs. I think
Oh, War Dogs is good.
I
What'd
like
you say,
War
Kevin?
Dogs is a good one, but I said Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wolf of
Oh.
Wall Street
Yeah,
would
that's a
be
good
my
one.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I
is
That
my
character
third.
that he plays in Wolf of Wall Street is hilarious.
It's exactly.
I could see that. I could see an argument for that. We do need to do a Brad Pitt podium, though, by the way. If we're going to do another podium episode, that would be a really good one. He's got so many good ones.
yeah.
Jonah Hill's a good sidekick. You pair him with another actor, like it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good buddy.
agreed.
He's a good buddy guy.
He is, for sure.
Good buddy guy.
A good buddy cop.
Yeah.
All right, last category. Did this podium in the year 19? Last category. Did this podium in the year 2011? And give me your podium list.
Wait, we had to pick 3?
Let's see. Did Dave do it?
Did you guys pick 3 this time? God damn it.
Dave, did you do your homework this time?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
This is on my podium. Number 3 is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Number
cool.
2 is Captain America, the First Avenger.
Nice.
And then this is probably number 1 from that year for me. I love this movie.
Yeah. Nice. Eric?
I actually said yes. This is the first time I've watched it.
Whoa.
And I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I put this at number 3, and I put Bridesmaids at number 2, and then number 1 is Drive.
Yeah, Drive's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Never saw that.
That's so cool that this was your first time seeing that.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, completely new to you. All the jokes, all the everything. That's so cool. So I can see where the streak came in and was like, oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Did you dig it, Eric?
Cool.
I did. It made my podium. It was number 3.
Duh, Daniel.
He hated it.
Good enough.
You damn redneck.
Hey, Eric, did you like it? I didn't listen to your answer a second ago, but did you?
Yeah, I did. I really liked it.
The worst part is that it went in my brain. I was like, hey, Eric, did you like it?
I blame work.
I would say this was the first time that Beth had actually watched that, my wife. And,
oh, yeah.
My wife.
And she actually really did enjoy it.
Hold on. Say it again. Who?
My wife. My wife. But she really did it. She really enjoyed it the first time. She's not a sports person either.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be. That's what's cool about this movie.
I watched this with my wife, and she had to tell me that it was actually based on real things.
My wife. My wife. My wife.
Yeah, she had to tell me that it was based on real events.
That's cool. Nice. Well, that's cool that some people got to see it for the first time. It's definitely worth it.
I've got news for you. Baseball is a real sport, not like rollerball. It is a real live sport.
Yeah, a couple of
my wife.
Daniel, did this podium on your?
Yes, this makes my podium.
Wait, did Kevin give us his answer?
No, not yet.
Okay,
he'll be next.
I'm sorry,
Kevin. You're next.
Daniel.
Number 3 is Green Lantern.
Really?
That movie sucks.
Trolled. I got a troll too. Damn you.
I was thinking about doing something.
I left that pause there just hoping someone would bite.
You killed it. You did it.
But number 3 is Harry Potter 8. Number 2 is Captain America, the First Avenger. And number 1 is Moneyball.
What did he eat?
What the dude?
What did Harry Potter eat?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for pointing out maybe the worst joke we've had in the history of this podcast.
What did he eat?
Eric definitely liked that one.
Dave delivered it so dry, and it was already over. We were way past that.
That's a change-up.
That was so bad.
Oh,
I was sitting fastball, and that was a change-up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, Kevin.
Number 3. I actually didn't like very many movies from this year. But number 3 is
you
Horrible
don't like
Bosses.
anything.
Number 3 is Horrible Bosses.
Oh.
Number 2 is Drive.
Nice.
And number 1 is Moneyball.
Wow. Dang. Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello,
John.
Hello, John.
All right.
You're up.
Gold, silver, bronze, all go to Moneyball.
Well played.
Are you with me,
Well
John?
played.
That 2011 wasn't a good year.
Yeah,
I think we all agree.
Drive. It sounds like Drive would have been a good movie from that year.
You
which
would
I've
like
not
that.
Seen.
Yeah, you should watch it.
But I
It's
guess
a big franchise year.
Yeah, and I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning of the movie, when we looked, like, this was it. Like, this was a no-brainer. I mean, we all reference it. We all, like, it's a part of our line of thinking, the way we talk and everything about it.
It was like 8th part of Harry Potter, like 7th part of Transformers.
Yeah.
What's
you know,
it
4th part of Twilight.
Movies that didn't get mentioned before I go that I thought was good. X-Men First Class, The Cabin in the Woods, Super 8, and Human Centipede 2.
classic.
My number 3 was 50-50.
Oh yeah.
Number 2 is Midnight in Paris. And my number 1 is Moneyball, of course.
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Here comes the
No-brainer.
money.
Well, I'm glad we did this movie because this is definitely in our group's wheelhouse. This movie is so good. It's
So
such an
good.
easy rewatch.
So
It's
good.
probably one of the most rewatchable movies, and maybe because it's like not a. Again, it's not. I mean, it's a sports movie and not at the same time. I think it makes it so rewatchable.
Yeah.
Easy to watch.
It's a longer movie, but
I've watched this
that's the only
movie a
thing that's
lot.
got against it.
Yeah.
For
But the
being
thing
long.
is, Kev, it doesn't feel like a long movie.
No,
That's true because it's like
Like,
think so.
you know how there are
210,
movies
215.
211. Yeah.
I always say Oppenheimer is a long movie that feels like a long movie.
Oh yeah,
Like-
for
Yeah.
sure.
You know, it's every bit of 3 hours and it feels like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But like, I'll watch the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings and be like, oh my God, I just spent 4 hours watching a movie.
Because it's an adventure,
Yeah.
right? Shit happens.
Yeah. It's not old
Lots of
white
shit.
dudes sitting in a room.
Exactly.
It's out
Right,
of baseball
100%.
season.
Right. All right. Thanks for tuning into our show. Please like and subscribe us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms for clips, updates, and opportunities on a movie we watch. Later.
Later.
Gotta go.
What? What's that?
Dave.
Bye, everybody.